So if you literally search how to lose weight on Google, this is the first list that pops up. Choose a low carb diet. Eat when hungry. Don't be hungry. Eat real food. Measure your progress wisely. Be persistent. Avoid eating fruit. Avoid drinking beer. Oh gosh. Just stay tuned. We're gonna help you out. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's Anthony Munda, and today we're going to be talking about 10 myths that are keeping you from losing weight. Before we get into all that, make sure if you're interested, you check out my website for one-on-one online coaching. Just a little plug there before we get started. Also, I have links to my Instagram and my Twitter in the description. But forget all that. Thank you for your support. Check that out if you want. If you don't, that's totally cool. Let's get you some good information so you can stop believing these silly things. Man, there's so many myths out there, and literally just like if you do a Google search like that, it'll literally be followed by like how to lose 10 pounds in 3 days, and there's just so much misinformation out there from people trying to sell you like, you know, quick fixes and stuff like that. So we're going to take care of all that today. We're going to go over some very common myths in the weight loss industry. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is you have to eat breakfast because it will kickstart your metabolism. That's completely false. When you're looking at how to lose weight, you're looking at how many calories you're eating throughout the whole day. So whether you choose to eat breakfast or not is totally up to you. For me personally, I find that for someone who's looking to lose weight, actually skipping breakfast can be an awesome tool because, you know, you're not going to be taking in those 300 to 600 calories that you would usually be having at breakfast. So breakfast is not needed at all. Your parents, your school teachers, all of them were lying to you and they said, you know, breakfast was the most important meal of the day. I mean, of course, if you're gonna have a long day, you should be like properly fueled and stuff like that, but it's not like essential. Like you don't need it to lose weight. It does nothing to your metabolism. Carbs will make you fat, so you can't eat them if you're trying to lose weight. That is by far the most misleading statement you can ever hear throughout the whole weight loss industry, fitness industry, and health industry. And what's bad is like I hear some like doctors say that, but nonetheless, let's clear up why that's a myth. Okay, number one, they don't inherently make you fat at all. Like there's nothing about carbs that, you know, as soon as you take them in, your body's like, oh, I'm gonna start storing fat. Like it doesn't work that way. The only way you can gain weight and start to put on fat is if you take in too much energy. That can be from carbs, fat, protein, alcohol. It's just increased energy more than what you need to maintain your current body weight, right? So carbs, there's nothing like inherently wrong with them, right? But the reason that they started to become demonized within the weight loss industry is because if you eat a lot of carbs, it's going to be hard for you to lose weight. Now, why is that? Because, okay, we're looking at potato chips, pasta, noodles, pizza, donuts, sweets, stuff like that. So with those things, they're very high in calorie, which means, going back to my first point, you're going to rack up the calories very easily, which makes you more likely to gain weight. Those carbs, they're very easy to overeat because they're so rewarding and so satisfying to our brains. Because if you go back to the hunter and gatherer days, like when we seen like something high in carbs, high in fat, we wanted to eat a lot of it because we didn't know like the next chance that we were going to have to get something such high calorie. But nowadays in the 21st century, we have food at our fingertips, so we can eat whatever we want. So we have to kind of like rewire how we think. And another reason I hate that myth is because when people hear that, they'll stop eating carbs. Okay? So it works for a little bit, but then it just makes you crave them so much more. And then the loop of that is then you're going to go like carb crazy and like end up having a ton of carbs after like 7 days of having no carbs. So it actually like completely is counterintuitive. So carbs do not make you fat whatsoever. I encourage you to implement them into your diet. You can't eat after 6 p.m. because those calories will turn into fat. I used to believe this one. I remember when I first started out, my last meal would have to be like at 5 p.m. And then after that, I would not eat at all. No matter if I was hungry, no matter what. Like it was completely off limits to eat after dinner. And I don't even know where this started, honestly, because I feel like a lot of like mothers and like, you know, way back in the day, like it was like a myth that if you ate after dinner, you're going to become fat. But the only reason that that can hurt you is because you're taking in extra calories. You see, like the time that you eat doesn't matter. It's all about how much calories you eat throughout the whole day. So whether you're eating these calories at 9 p.m., midnight, 3 in the morning, 8 in the morning, they're all just energy. Your body has no idea what time it is when it comes to body composition or determining how you put on fat or how you lose fat. So you can eat your calories at any time. If you find yourself, hungry after dinner, what I would do personally and what I do is I save calories for myself after dinner. So that means like kind of taking away some calories from breakfast or lunch, going easier on the dinner so that you can have something closer to bed, so that you can go to bed satisfied and not like that hungry feeling while you're trying to sleep. Because literally I've been there, you've probably been there too, because you've been told this myth, and it's a bad feeling because you're like, you feel like you're being deprived. So if you go to bed on a full stomach knowing that that has no impact on whether you're going to lose weight or gain weight, as long as your calories are controlled, you're going to be good. If you're trying to lose weight, you can only eat healthy. So there's no pizza involved, no donuts. You can't you have to have brown rice. You can't have white rice. Certain type of breads you can have. Look, like there's no foods. Again, it's just kind of like carbs. There's no foods that inherently make you fat or that inherently make you lose weight. Now, a lot of people coin like the good versus bad foods, which is another term I hate, right? So the only thing about good foods, like healthy foods, so think like chicken, rice, and broccoli, they're just lower in calories, they fill you up better, and they're harder to overeat, which all makes it easier to lose weight when you eat those things. And then on the other side of the coin, you have bad foods, which are high in calories, not satisfying, and very easy to overeat, which means you're going to rack up the calories. So you don't have to eat just, boring, bland foods to lose weight. Because, like, you can, as long as your calories are controlled, you can fit in whatever foods you want. Now, do I recommend that you go, fit in Oreos, ice cream, pizza, tacos, all into your diet in one day? No. But understanding this, or, debunking this myth of you only have to eat healthy to lose weight, allows you to implement some of your favorite foods, some of the foods that you may deprive yourself on if you're trying to lose weight, so that you don't crave them as much, so that you don't feel like you're like starving or you're missing out on life. You can implement your favorite foods, your favorite home cooked meals and stuff like that, and still lose weight. Weightlifting will make you bulky, or it's not good for weight loss. That is so backwards, you wouldn't believe. Lifting weights, male, female, young, old, I don't care who you are, it is very good for you. It's good for how you look, how you feel, and your overall health. You should, if you're not doing that now, because I made the mistake in the beginning of my journey of not weight training, please get in the gym and just do a little bit. Just please, just take it from me. But they do not make you bulky, right? Especially, like, you hear that a lot from, like, women, okay? So women who lift weights, they're not just automatically going to look, like a bodybuilder and stuff like that, because they don't even have like the hormonal response to even have that ability. So they're literally, by lifting weights, you're going to achieve that toned physique that everyone's basically after, the ones that you see in the magazines and on social media, right? Because being toned is literally just having a little bit of muscle and decreasing your body fat percentage over time. So the way you build that muscle is by lifting weights. You won't inherently be bulky. It's not bad for losing weight. It will only make you look better in the end when you lose weight, because you can look at two people who, this person only did cardio and just extremely underate to lose their weight. But then you look at the next person who took their time, who lifted weights, minimal cardio because they're focusing on nutrition. They will look completely different. It is so imperative that you get in the gym, not be afraid of weights, and start lifting. You should do a bunch of crunches and sit-ups, planks, leg lifts to get rid of that belly fat that we all hate, that we all have, that we just want to get rid of so bad. Those exercises will not do a darn thing when it comes to getting rid of love handles, belly fat, chest fat, your fat on your arms. Like, you cannot control where you lose fat, and the exercises you do not play a role in that either. Okay, the way we get rid of belly fat, love handles, fat on your arms is simply by losing more weight. Doing crunches and sit-ups, that will only build up your abs so that your abs become like a stronger muscle and they become a bigger muscle. It doesn't take care of body fat, right? Just kind of process that a little bit. When you're doing crunches, you're working on the abdominal muscle. So it has no benefit when it comes to taking care of abdominal fat. Now, where it can help is if you're building up your abs or your obliques and stuff like that. When you start to lose weight, the more they're developed, the sooner you're going to be able to see your midsection or your abs, okay? But they do not inherently take care of belly fat or love handles or anywhere. You cannot target where you want to lose weight. So you can't like say, there's memes like on the internet, or like if you look it up, you know, how to lose belly fat, and it's like this 30-day challenges of like the exercises I mentioned in the beginning. Those exercises are cool, but they're not going to take care of your trouble spots. The only thing that's going to take care of your trouble spots is focusing on nutrition, getting into a caloric deficit, and losing more weight. In time, if you stay true to the process, if you keep doing what you're doing, those trouble areas will take care of themselves, you know, in time. You have to do a lot of cardio. Listen, cardio is the most overrated part of losing weight, and let me tell you why. All right, let's draw up a little scenario here. So I'm sure some of you guys even be here and have, you know, might even be doing this right now. You go into the gym. You're trying to lose weight, right? That's on your mind. So you're willing to do whatever it takes, right? So you go into the gym, get on that treadmill, and you just slave on it for an hour. Complete sweat fest. You're dripping. You feel good. You feel like you did a lot towards your weight loss journey, sure. But you look like you just burned 300 calories. Like, that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. To stack on top of that, if you're not focusing on your nutrition and you're doing that, like, you're not going to reap the benefits whatsoever. Cardio is the most overrated because a lot of people put all of their attention and become hyper-focused on cardio in the beginning because that's what they see like people do on social media or in movies and stuff like that to lose weight. How you lose weight is by creating an energy deficit. So you need to eat less calories than you're burning. So the only way cardio helps with that is by increasing the number of calories that you're burning. So if you're really focusing on that, but if you're not focusing on nutrition at all, you're really missing out. And another thing with cardio, if you're doing so much day after day, you're gonna get sick of it, and it increases your appetite. So you need to actually do the most minimal amount of cardio you can possibly do to lose weight. Because if you have a weight loss plateau, then you can actually add in cardio. But if you're already doing, 60 minutes of cardio 5 to 6 times a week, and then you hit a weight loss plateau, like, what are you gonna do? Like 90 minutes of cardio a day? Like, you need to take it easy, focus on nutrition and strength training first, and then cardio. You have to watch your sodium intake. Okay, now I've heard this a lot. This is kind of twofold. So if you have a lot of high sodium foods, your weight will increase simply because, that's extra water. You're going to be holding more glycogen in your muscles. So the weight on the scale is going to rise, but that doesn't mean that you're gaining fat. The only way you gain fat is if you take in too many calories, right? As I've mentioned several times. Common theme there. But here's where, it has no direct correlation with increased body fat. It just doesn't. Like, if you eat something high in sodium, but you're in your daily, allotted calories that you can have, you're going to be totally fine. Now, the reason that high sodium foods are looked down upon in the fitness industry or the weight loss industry is because most of the time, we're eating pizza, tacos, highly processed foods that are high in sodium. So we're like, oh, sodium must be, making me gain weight. No, it's actually because those foods are so high in calories. So do not be afraid of sodium. If you work out, if you sweat, if you sleep and wake up, you will pee that out and you will be totally fine. Like, it won't even matter in the end. You have to eat 5 to 6 meals a day every 2 to 3 hours. Again, it doesn't matter how many meals you eat. It doesn't matter how many hours it's been since you've eaten. The only thing that matters is the amount of calories you have throughout the whole entire day. So if you're eating 2,000 calories a day to lose weight, you can have that in 1 meal, 3 meals, 15 meals. It's all going to be the same in terms of how you look, okay? So what I suggest is to have a schedule around like what works for you. So if you're super busy, that might be 2 meals. If you're someone who like enjoys eating, enjoys smaller meals, enjoys snacking, then have 6 meals. But I would argue that this 5 to 6 meal a day thing actually works against everyone who's trying to lose weight, because every time you eat, for someone who's trying to lose weight, that's an opportunity to overeat, right? So the lesser amount of meals you have, you decrease your chances of overeating. Whereas if you're eating 5 to 6 times a day, that's 5 to 6 times a day that you have to use willpower and say, I'm going to be done after I eat this last bite. I can't have any more until this meal. And then again, with 5 to 6 meals every 2 to 3 hours, that has no effect on your metabolism. What really affects your metabolism is your total amount of calories and how active you are throughout the day, in the gym, and throughout your daily life. You have to have a protein shake as soon as you finish your workout, because we need to shuttle all that into the muscles so that we can't put on any extra fat. Or there's weight loss proteins. Like I literally even seen that advertised, and I remember when I first started my journey, I bought one that said like protein for weight loss and stuff like that. You do not need protein shakes at all to lose weight. The only reason that helps is if you're continually struggling to get in your protein. Now, I would argue that protein shakes are not even a good idea for anyone who's trying to lose weight, because you're breaking my cardinal rule of drinking calories. So if you drink that 130 calorie protein shake, you're not going to be full from it. You're not going to be like, oh, now I don't have to eat for 3 hours, right? You're going to still be hungry, but it did nothing. Like, just make sure you're getting in your protein throughout the day. You do not need it. Do not let anybody market it to you that, it'll help you in your weight loss journey. The stuff in it will make you lose more weight. It's simply just a supplement, what it is called, right? So if you're getting in enough protein throughout your diet through Whole Foods, you're good. You don't need to spend your money, so you're all straight. Those are 10 myths that you need to stop believing so that you can actually begin to lose weight, okay? So stop reading those blog posts. Stop reading those posts from, people trying to take your money. Look into the real facts. Control your calories. Do what works for you. Focus on strength training. And take your time throughout this journey. There's no quick fix, right? A lot of these things kind of aim for you to see results very quickly, but then you drop off very harshly, because they're very strict rules. And when someone says you can't do this, you can't have that, it's going to make you start to feel deprived. So control your calories, do what works for you, and you're going to be fine. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your support on every single social media platform. I'm so grateful. If you ever have any questions, if you want help on your journey, always feel free to reach out to me. I reply to every single comment, every single DM, everything, okay? So I'm always here for you guys, because I would have wanted someone to do the same for myself. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.